People's Democratic Party has elected the presidential candidate. Now there's a search for running mate. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's emergence resulted in mixed reactions within the party and among many Nigerians. Now, it's been said that political greed and egocentrism played a dominant role in the just concluded PDP National Convention. In the Southeast, for example, there have been calls by several groups, people saying that, look, Atiku Abubakar doesn't represent the dream of the country, because at this time they think that the main opposition should actually present someone from the southern part of the country. And there's been this talk right now that there was betrayal by some of the southern governors. We had Governor Nyesom Wike just yesterday while arriving in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, saying that some of the PDP state governors from the south and the South generally actually betrayed him. And of course, there's been this call that the PDP is now a northern party, because the Board of Trustees chairman, the national chairman, and of course the presidential candidate are all from the north. And who else will better discuss this issue than the comrade himself, Prince Kassim Afegbua, who has written a very, very powerful article about the outcome of the PDP National Convention. And we thought to bring him here. He's a former media advisor, former Commissioner for Information, Edo State, and he was, of course, helping Nyesom Wike to do his campaign. Unfortunately, Wike lost out. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
I hope you've been able to get some good rest.
Well, you can see I'm looking fresher.
Okay. And your man, Governor Nyesom Wike, was firing from all cylinders yesterday, saying that if he wanted to disrupt that convention after that statement or before Tambuwal came to make that statement, that he would have done so. How much betrayed do you feel in your political camp?
We will allow him to do so that we'll go back to square one. Because you don't change the goalposts at the middle of the game. At the time that the presidential aspirants were coming out to speak, it was appropriate at that time for you to make whatever submissions you needed to make, as an aspirant. If you wanted to step down, you don't need to come out, speak, and you want to say people should vote for you. Then thereafter, you go and sit down, and you now raise your hand and, carrying out that kind of withdraw. But of course, Wike says he's a party man. I don't have his kind of temperament. If I was in his shoes, I would disrupt that process and I will go back to square one. They will begin to reorder the algorithms. But for him to allow this, I think maybe he was just trying to, so that they won't say Wike again,
And your team feels so betrayed by, Tambuwal, who, all of you were canvassing for in 2018, only for it to get to 2022. And someone who many Nigerians thought was close to your camp suddenly just, hit you from behind, if you may say so.
I find myself in a very difficult situation trying to describe the action of Tambuwal, because he's a personal friend and all that. But many people who have called me told me that they are not surprised by his conduct, because if they trace his antecedent, that they will tell you, oh, he did this in 2011, he did this in 2015, he did this in 2018, and all of that. But the painful aspect is that I don't want to be part and parcel of a political process where you can't vouch for friendship. But on that day, he left friendship, he chose region instead of country.
Yeah, I read that in your article.
Yes,
and all.
Instead of being a nationalist, he chose to be a tribalist, and so it's quite unfortunate. I don't. When people have the capacity to stab their friends in the back or betray and all of that, people praise them, they clap for them, instead of whipping or agonizing for them, because you must bring in some ethics and values into our political system. It is not until you possess these characteristics of being the odd man out at every point in time, even though you are able to score your political goal, that we should celebrate you. So to a large extent, I feel that was unbecoming, for Tambuwal to be described as an undertaker. I didn't like that.
And there are these talks now of PDP being a regional party, a northern party, because the BOT chairman, the national chairman, and the presidential candidate are from the same region, the north. What do you make of that?
Well, you see, my position has remained the same. Sumner, I'm on TV here with you last week, I said it. Now that we have a northern candidate, of the PDP. I hope APC produces a southern candidate. If it happens that it becomes a northern candidate again, then we should be preparing for some kind of implosion in the country, because you need to balance the power algorithms of the country because of the plural nature of the country. We are so divergent. We are sitting on a delicate balance. The intrinsic logic of the Nigerian Federation is so flawed now that if you don't articulate issues that people will have a sense of buying into the unity of the country, then we're going to have a problem. And you see, when people keep talking about issue of marginalization, exclusion, or what have you, and we are doing the same thing, expecting different result, we are going to have serious problem. Of course, Iyochayu should naturally resign now. If he's a man that is honorable to his words, he said if there's a northern candidate that he will resign his position.
Was it a northern candidate or a north central candidate? If someone comes from the north central, where he comes from.
You see, they shouldn't beg the issue. They shouldn't beg the issue. He's from the north. You can't have a northern national chairman, a northern presidential candidate, chairman board of trustees north, and all of that. And the party is weak in the north. I hope you know that. South is used to be, or is still, the bedrock of PDP, because even in the south we have 8 governors against 5 in the north. And if we are to follow that, reality, I expect that Iyochayu should resign. Of course, we have seen his hand in all of this. That means he was partisan. It wasn't fair. It wasn't objective as a national chairman. Are you
referring to the video of him meeting Tambuwal?
He went to greet Tambuwal. He called him the hero of the convention. You don't describe that kind of action as heroic. Wike is actually the hero of the convention because he didn't stop the convention, number one. He fought to the point that him alone working against so-called power cabal, northern elders. There was a gang up against one man. That makes him formidable.
Yeah, and we are surprised why Wike would warrant northern elders, the party coming together. That means he was being underrated. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
And then
they underrated him, but again, he was able to create a lot of incursions into the northern.
Yeah, but how about the allegations that Wike was using money to get court orders, to just whip everybody into line and all of that, and that Wike betrayed Tambuwal in the delegates that came from Kano, Kebbi, and some of those northern states.
Is Tambuwal from Kano State?
Well, he comes from the northwest, and he would have rallied around people, delegates from there.
Sumner, I don't even want us to continue to overflog these issues. In 2018, every Nigerian who is reasonable knows that Wike was our backbone. I was part and parcel of Tambuwal's campaign in 2018. I went around this country with him. I wasn't told, I wasn't a backbencher. I know the intricacies of that political process at that time. We lost in Port Harcourt by the same factors of some gang up, Now, when it's the time of Wike, I even expect a time where I've been issued to just, submit to Wike, just by way of showing reciprocal love, attention, and affection, and all of that. But I was shocked by the stand he took. If he had sailed it through, fine. But even stepping down to ensure that Wike is defeated.
So
I am not one of those who will pay good with bad. No, I won't be. Well, and it's my friend. If I see him, I will tell him the same thing I'm saying.
Well, we have heard that Tambuwal was actually promised the position of Senate President if Atiku wins.
Let him win.
Have you been hearing that?
No, let him win Senate first.
The general fear within his camp is that he's a 2-term governor and he's going to end his term. If he doesn't look for something, having seen that he may not emerge, he has to cling to something so that he doesn't look like one of these former governors that just keep going around without being in position.
Well, my orientation is different from some other persons. I want a good name. I want people to see me that I'm being driven by my convictions, and I drive my convictions with passion. I don't sleepwalk. My eyes are open, my senses are working very well. My position on Atiku remains the same. I won't support him. If you like, drop 10 billion naira in front of me, I won't support him. I just have one vote, but that one vote will be used meaningfully. Well, you can suspend me from PDP. You can suspend me from PDP. You can expel me. No problem about that. I'm not feeding from PDP. I will vote, and I will vote accordingly. I know who I will vote for.
And what do you make of the search by Atiku for a running mate? Do you think he should appease the
He can choose a running mate from Adamawa. I don't give a damn. Yes, he can choose from Yobe. He can choose from Borno. he can choose from Kano. Because there is no sense in our politics again, my brother. You cannot.
There has to be that continuous
No. What they said is that there is no need for zoning of anything. They threw it open. So let him take a candidate from Kano or take a candidate from Kaduna. They said there is no need of zoning.
You think that will fly?
Yeah, yes, it will fly because that is the arithmetic they came up with. They came up with dubious arithmetic. They were championing it, publishing it all over the place. Say this one is 2 years, this one is 13 years, this one is 11 years, and all of that. Now it has come to the point of taking decision. The same people who criticize zoning, they want to zone VP to the south. No, we don't need VP. They should zone it to the north. Let everything be in the north.
Oh, okay, and we've been hearing actually that some PDP chieftains from the south are just waiting for the APC to present a southern candidate, and there will be anti-party activities.
Definitely, I am one of those. I'm one of those persons who will do anti-party. If APC chooses a southern candidate, fine. And several of us, there are so many of us who will do that.
Have you been hearing of any governors that are aggrieved that may want to do that?
There are people who will do that. If they don't need to show it publicly, they will work internally. There will be internal sabotage that you can take to the market.
Okay. So now, what's the future of the PDP? You haven't seen the outcome of the convention. The convention process itself has received some kudos, people saying that, look, everything went very well, except for the obscene monetization of it, according to what we have been hearing.
Everything didn't go well. You see, let me tell you, and it is
from the weakest camp.
Perspective. Listen. You see, I think it is good for you media people to begin to interrogate processes. You see, we had a new executive thinking that they will behave differently from the previous one, led by Uche Secondus. But they are worse. They are behaving worse. In
what way?
In the ways that they will see court verdict, valid court judgment, orders, and all of that. They will almost going to, neglect those judgments or even dismiss them as inconsequential. The case of Edo was a very serious one. We had even court of appeal in Benin sitting that vacated the order of the lower court in Benin and all of that. Even at that, the national chairman was still hell-bent that they were going to submit Baseki's list delicately because they were all working for Atiku Abubakar and all of that. The same Kano you were talking now, a court order, recognized the previous executive, which didn't favor them the way they wanted. They were trying all they could, the national organizing secretary and all of that, to make sure that they didn't use that delegate list. There are so many other states, Imo, the same thing, Anambra, the same thing, they disqualified this, they disqualified that. There are a lot of crises in PDP, a lot of it. And there are elections coming up in Ekiti, there are elections coming up in Osun. There are issues surrounding all of those elections. They are not, these are the president executive of IU are not looking into all those things.
We have seen Atiku Abubakar beginning the reconciliation effort, especially as a result of the outcome. But tell me, when we see people like Ike Ekweremadu being seen at the APC National Secretariat, and then Yinaya Abaribe saying he is no longer a member of the PDP, do you think that the PDP will still remain the same?
When you close your door to people and you're not doing the right thing, you are bound to have people who will pull out. That's the truth. I've just told you now that you can suspend me, you can expel me. I don't give a damn. I will speak my mind the way it appears to me. My position remains constant like the northern sun. So whether you like it or not, the point is, when people want to aspire to any office or whatever, once you don't come out with honesty and you are applying subterfuge and subterranean motives to begin to railroad the system to a desired conclusion or from your own parochial point of view, then you have tendencies like Ekweremadu exiting, Peter Obi and what have you. Yeah. And that has also changed the political algorithms of the country.
Yeah, because we haven't heard you saying that you support Peter Obi.
No, I'm voting for APC candidate. Once if they come up with a southern candidate, I will support APC openly. If they don't, I will support Peter Obi openly. I don't miss words with my position.
Very interesting politics for Nigeria.
Kwankwaso has left. He's going to take chunk of votes from Kano. Peter Obi is going to take chunk of votes from Southeast and all of that. So it will be difficult for you to even have one person who will have the two-third majority votes. The majority votes in two-thirds of the states or the federation in the first round. So this election may go into runoff.
Are you pushing away the issues of reconciliation very quickly?
What reconciliation are you talking about? You can't be spending money, bribery, and all of that. Then you want to reconcile. Even the recruitment process is faulty. You display resources and all of that. Then at the end of the day, you say a man has political network and all that. You fly your muscles. You shake your muscles and say, oh, you are in charge. No, that's not the way to go about it.
Kassim
Our recruitment process, our leadership recruitment process.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have enough time, and of course, you just raised a very key position here. How could an Atiku be challenged by a Wike? Does it mean that Atiku's politics is also dwindling too? Because previously people just say Atiku will railroad everyone. Well, these are interesting conversations ahead for the polity as we await the February elections next year, where the next president will emerge.